All right, are we all good? All righty. Awesome. Can you all hear and see me good? Just want to get a good consensus before we go. We keep in mind, I don't want to get you all too riled up or anything like that. This is just something that's kind of been, it's actually been out for a while, but it's something that's been developing recently, and I've been noticing the view counts coming up. A lot of people have personally PM'd this to me, and I want to dive a little bit deeper into it. So it's quite interesting. Okay, so it says y'all are good. Awesome. All right, everyone. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Let me change my viewpoint to full screen. There is a lot of worry developing in regards to Bitcoin Cash. So there's basically been there's a pastebin link here, which I can go ahead and I'll post in the chat. You all can go ahead and read through it along with me. Go ahead and drop that in there for you all. So basically speaking, there's been a pastebin posted back from July 30th that is detailing a supposed plan that B2X was never meant to successfully launch. So we all know this, of course. We've been keeping up with the channel, and basically speaking, as we've all been talking about, how there's been personally, if you think about it in a logical sense, if B2X was canceled, of course, everyone would run to Bitcoin Cash. We've been talking about this on the channel, but there's something that a lot of people are starting to fear, because this pastebin's been around since July 30th, and inside it details a plan that stated that B2X was never meant to be successful, and that they were going to use, in this case, Bitcoin Cash to be the forked currency that replaces Bitcoin with the 8 megabyte block size. And as you read through it, the details get a little bit nitty gritty, a little bit scary. Now, keep in mind, of course, nothing's confirmed. That's why I'm calling it a conspiracy. We're getting a little bit creative here. We're thinking, and I don't mean to spread FUD, but the detailed plan here is stated to, in the end, have large scale players in the space, Chinese miners, take over the original Bitcoin and force Bitcoin Cash to be the new, not just a forked currency, the official Bitcoin. So let's go ahead, let's read through it together, let's talk about it. And then of course, I will go through some of the comments and talk with y'all, but I do want to state something before I forget. For donations and everything like that, if you all want to donate, that's fine. But I will not be answering any questions until about around 7 o'clock, or sorry, not 7 o'clock, around, we'll get going with questions around 7:30 for me. And of course, as you can see, that's going to be a little over about an hour. So let's go ahead and start talking about this. So it basically starts off. Now, keep in mind, there's some poor English in here. It's just one of the negatives on it, but it could be someone who's not a traditional English speaker. Traders, certain information has come to my attention that is causing me grave concern, and I feel it is my duty to warn each and every one of you. We all know the scaling drama has caused a huge rift, resulting in Bitcoin forking into the soon-to-be Bitcoin Cash. Keep in mind, this was before and posted on Bitcoin Cash. And I want to give it as a sense of proof here. Actually, I don't have the link up here. There's a Steemit article where you can type the exact same text in, and it's been around for 3 months, pretty much from the posting date. So this has been officially out for a few months. So I know many large holdings and many have large holdings and savings in Bitcoin and are hodlers and will never sell. So when the selling starts, you may lose everything if you don't also sell. First off, guys, don't panic at this. Just read it through with me and stuff. Gentlemen, this is certainly not going to be gentlemen. I don't get that. Certain information has come to light from backroom channel sources I cannot disclose. Even writing this post will probably reveal my source. But I feel by God's will, I must warn you all. Selling is coming, selling the likes of which we haven't seen since the Mt. Gox era. Already, as I type this, battleships of Bitcoin are being shorted on all major exchanges. Gentlemen, the enemy, the big blockers, have colluded and joined forces. The Chinese, the Jihan and co. have already put together a plan to replace Bitcoin with Bitcoin Cash. The plan goes like this. Chinese miners, F2 Pool, Ant Pool, etc., have organized with major exchanges via Huobi, OKCoin, etc., a lot of South Korean exchanges, to support and launch Bitcoin Cash. And initially, they will let everyone who wants to sell. Once the coin is bottomed out, as we saw with Bitcoin Cash's price action, it had a decent, flattening price action. Everyone who wanted to sell has sold. The Chinese miners, Jihad, Chinese exchanges will begin accumulating lots and lots of Bitcoin Cash. They will then begin to pump the price to around 0.1 BCC or Bitcoin Cash to Bitcoin. As we've generally seen, we've already passed that. Now we're up to the point 25 range. If we take a look at Bitcoin Cash here, I'm actually going to pull that up. Pull this up, refresh it. BCH, BTC. Yeah, so we're seeing, yeah, pretty much at a quarter level of Bitcoin now. So this might definitely higher than this estimation. The big pools won't mine it. They will let the smaller pools see the returns from mining this expensive but low difficulty coin and start mining it. Later, the large pools will join in. And as we all know, Jihad has a lot of hashing power. Their plan is for Bitcoin Cash to have more hashing power than Bitcoin. And let's be honest, the Chinese move over. That's pretty much it. Very fair point if that does happen. And to kind of go around that, I have my chat in the way here, but the hashing rate is absolutely diving for Bitcoin. We haven't, if we take a step back, I mean, even back a few months ago. Oh, they can't see it? Oh, the chat box. Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, in the case of the drop in hash power, we haven't seen anything really drastic like this up until the fork. So, I mean, this is some pretty serious stuff, folks. And not to mention to see Bitcoin Cash come up like this out of nowhere, really, over the past few days is quite concerning, along with the correlation of price action going to up to a quarter of Bitcoin. And keep in mind, the real thing that really concerns me here is that this is almost past Ethereum, folks. We have to keep that kind of scale in mind here. A lot of people are asking me, why aren't you talking about Bitcoin Gold? Because Bitcoin Gold's been going up. Folks, this is now a $26 billion cryptocurrency. I don't know what's justifying this, that each Bitcoin Cash is now worth almost $1,600. And to see all these kind of dominoes come into place as we'll continue going through the paper, it gets a little concerning. Later, the larger pools to join in, so we talked about this, putting more hashing power. And again, if China were to do that, that would be quite concerning. Around this time, the hard fork section of SegWit2x is not going to happen. It never was. Bitcoin Cash will then be seen as the original New York Agreement coin. So what they're pretty much bringing up here is the fact that the New York Agreement, when they came to the agreement, they were expecting never to release Bitcoin, SegWit2x. And the reason why is because it was supposedly supposed to be a compromise. It was supposed to be having segregated witness and the increased block size. But as we all know, Bitcoin Cash forked earlier on, and that gives an 8 megabyte block, to increase to 8 megabytes. So the basic conspiracy here is that they never intended for SegWit2x to happen, and in fact, are now going to make Bitcoin Cash be the coin of the New York Agreement. Again, you got to think for your own stuff. I mean, it's an interesting concept, but as we'll read through, there's a few more details. At this point in time, Bitcoin Cash will be on all major Chinese exchanges, possibly some Western exchanges as well. It's pretty much on all major exchanges by now, both Western as well as general Asian exchanges. So you have China, you've got Japanese exchanges, I think, that have it, but more importantly than anything, South Korean exchanges. So again, you see a lot of Asian exchanges, Japan and South Korea, serving as alternative routes of volume for what was traditionally Chinese exchanges, as of course there's been some regulation in the space. Western companies and other merchant providers, BitPay, AtSpare, oops. Let's see here, sorry. AtSpare, etc., paid off by Bitmain, etc., will go along with the new Bitcoin Cash narrative and will push for the Bitcoin Cash to be called Bitcoin on all their platforms, leaving only Coinbase, etc., all which will then be the odd ones out. Now here comes the scary part. The old Bitcoin, the Bitcoin we know and love, is going to be destroyed. What determines a coin's success? Its market cap. Generally speaking, yes, I guess its valuation does matter at the end of the day. Big old school blockers and miners are going to pump Bitcoin back to the bottom. They will literally take billions and billions of dollars out of Bitcoin. They will use the money. They will use the money for marketing and development or Bitcoin Cash. Think Bitcoin Core equals fire. Think Forbes article, why Bitcoin miners and companies are moving to Bitcoin Cash. Think, and of course, this is getting more theoretical in this speak, so I don't want to dive too deep in it. It's just saying how you're going to start seeing a shift in the media, talking about how Bitcoin Cash is the new Bitcoin. Again, we haven't really seen that too much, but we have started to see people covering the price action of it. Huge shorts are being built up already. I'm assuming that's Bitfinex. Shorts are at 32K, not ever seen since $200. These kind of numbers of shorts, and it's climbing all the time consistently. They have a lot of coins to short. This is really the argument comes in here in the regard that it's like, why would they be doing shorts all the way back here in July? Because you've got to unload. You're talking hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Bitcoin that these large mining pools own. They own the majority of the hash rate. You can guarantee that they own a large amount of the supply. But again, just keep that in mind. The most painful kind of selling is when it never bounces back. And if you remember my God, it's okay, yeah, whatever. And below there's an email. I don't take too much of this with a grain of salt. This is supposedly an email that he had gotten. Email from Alice DeBom. They have some Telegram logs as well. He says he was going to put something on there, but basically, about this one photo here. Hi, Peter. Thank you for the email. I confirm that the Chinese are on board with listing of Bitcoin Cash with the ultimate goal to replace the name to Bitcoin and the old Bitcoin to Bitcoin Core once the hashing power moves over. I'm refilling the Astro Turing accounts now to go full attack on the core entities. They won't know what hit them regards Ashley. I don't really, to be honest, I don't have a full understanding of that, so I don't want to speak too much. But at the end of the day, guys, I just want to get a general discussion going. I'm not claiming anything, but it is odd how everything is just correlating and coming into action here. I mean, to see this kind of volume come in, it's ridiculous. And if we go back, the reason I have a world time clock up is right now we are dealing with a daytime in Asian markets. You've got Tokyo, South Korea, China. I mean, everything is coming back in to push this back up. And whereas the volume was tapering off for a while, it's pumping back in. BitHum is coming back in. Coin1 still staying strong. Uniswap still strong volume in Bitfinex and other Western exchanges or general other exchanges and cryptocurrencies, Poloniex. But most of it's coming from Coin1 and BitHum and Corbit, all South Korean exchanges. That's quite concerning. And I think in total, actually, I think I pointed out in my last video, South Korean exchanges are making up 1/3 of all 24-hour volume. So let's see here. I want to read some general comments real quick. Yes, let me actually, I saw someone asking for the link. Here is the link. I'll post it a few times. Actually, Aegis, can we get that pinned? Is there any way we can, this link, I can actually, it's the one I sent you in Discord. It's the one, the paste bin one. If you could do it in the chat. I don't know if in super chat will allow that, but. Okay, yeah, I guess we could, oh, actually, sorry, wrong link, everyone. My bad. I've sent the image or link of the email. Let me send you all the paste bin. This is the paste bin right here. Should come through any second now. Let's see. I never accept B trash in my company. That's good to see everyone's a little bit up in arms. To be fair, again, guys, I want to be completely transparent with you all. And as I'm a person who doesn't like to spark emotion, but I thought I'd share this with you all. This is something that, much like any other development that I get, if it's urgent enough and it causes this much concern, I'm going to share it with you all. But just make sure that's all good. Again, I've been watching this go up all day. The viewer count has just been ridiculous. I don't know who it is, who posted it. They wanted to keep their identity anonymous, but it's definitely concerning. Bitcoin has 200K unconfirmed transactions. No way. $200K, are you serious? I'll have to check that out in a minute. Guys, remember, just keep calm about it. I just want to, let's see, prepare your pink glow checks. Let's see. Yeah, DanX. Yeah, DanX was one of the people who sent it to me. I've gotten this received by around 10 people now between Discord and Twitter, and I looked more and more into it, and a lot of it's honestly aligning, which is what concerns me here. But we'll have to see if this develops. Again, not trying to FUD or anything, just trying to get a discussion going on the topic. Okay. I'll send the paste bin link again, guys. Okay. So again, the eventual thing that's coming out here, guys, is that there's, I mean, I wouldn't usually take something like this so serious, but you're seeing literally on the hourly almost exponential like movement on Bitcoin Cash. There's no other reason for this. I don't get how you can get the kind of volume we're getting. And this is just on Bitfinex. Let's see if we can actually, I don't know if I can get access on TradingView to the other exchanges. Can I? Nah, I can't get, it's like Bitflyer. They're all Western exchanges. I'd love to see if someone could provide a link to Korean exchanges. That would be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can do it, Mess. But can you go? Yeah. So so I know there's a lot of new people coming in. First off, I want to say nothing is confirmed official yet. This is just potentially again, as it's titled, a conspiracy of what's being interpreted right now in the sense of price action for Bitcoin Cash. Long story short, there is intentions from the document we have. It's a document from July 30th. It was posted by an anonymous source. This is even before Bitcoin Cash came into existence, before we had the first hard fork. But basically speaking, what they're talking about is how in the New York agreement, where we agreed to eventually have, of course, first awesome, cool. The first implementation of SegWit onto the Bitcoin Core technology. And then, of course, we had Bitcoin Cash come into it. Really, the whole New York agreement was never established to create SegWit 2x, so this new kind of forked currency we're about to have in Bitcoin. The reason being is because, so I'm trying to keep track of everything. There's a lot on my mind. In this case, basically, long story short, SegWit 2x was never supposed to happen. The developers who wanted the benefits that SegWit 2x would bring, aka the increase in block size, knew that it wasn't going to go through. In fact, that's why they pulled out. And because of that, they're actually going in and trying to make Bitcoin Cash, which has an 8 megabyte block size, the new alternative for Bitcoin. And there's supposedly a collusive effort between Chinese miners and a variety of other people who are high up in the community. Again, I wouldn't panic on your transactions, everyone, but again, check the link when you get the chance and just see for yourself. What level? What's my wood cutting level? Yeah, I honestly, like Michael said, it seems like it's a hostile takeover right now. I mean, that's what we really have to consider here, guys. And what worries me more than anything is this is going exponential. But I think, honestly, if this were to really come to fruition, if we're really getting the cashioning, as some people would call it, you're going to see mass amounts of volume come in. If that's the case, if it's actually happening. We have seen good volume. It's been a few $1 billion worth of volume here, especially from Korean exchanges. But I feel like we're going to see even more. If this is really the flipping. But I mean, then again, in the past 24 hours to have 6 billion in volume, that's not casual. That's not a pump and dump. That's a legitimate, wide scale flip of exchanges between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So let's see here. Someone said, who's buying Bitcoin Cash right now? I don't know if you're who you might be referring to specifically, but the South Koreans are. Cryptogram, no problem, man. I'm glad to cover the topic. All right, so again, I want to help kind of drain the mindset and all that kind of stuff. If y'all are panicking about this and stuff, I don't FUD on it. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, if this is going to really happen to Bitcoin, I'd say more in a moral sense. I'm not really thinking. I have not changed swear on my life right now, I haven't changed any of my positions today. I haven't touched my crypto at all. If this is true, this could be very damaging for Bitcoin, as well as just general the idea of who really runs the show here, because Bitcoin has become relatively centralized in its ownership, and you can have things like this happen if some people come together and they say, oh, we want to fork Bitcoin, we want to offer a new version of Bitcoin. Again, this is why we have to be worried about these kind of centralized efforts of manipulation of money, if it is true. But let's see here. I forgot I'm not on my account, so I don't have the my list of coins, but it's no big deal. Janeet, thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, Harfin asked, why do you support Bitcoin if it's slower and has higher fees? It's a good question. The thing is, I personally do not believe that increasing the block size is a long-term fix, first and foremost. Second off, the question is if you increase, let's say, for example, we increase it to 2 megabytes. Okay. We meet the supply is met to the demand, or the demand is met to the supply. More transactions come in. Okay, are you going to increase it to 4 megabytes or 8 megabytes? Because it's eventually going to need to scale more in the block size if that's your solution. And what happens is you're allowing too many transactions to come into the Bitcoin network, and over time the network is going to get very heavy in regards to the amount of transaction history that has to be stored. Every time someone's going to want to become a part of the Bitcoin network, they're going to have to download all that history. And that's one reason why you don't want to just have all heavy amounts of transactions on the network by just increasing the block size. Sure, transaction fees go down. That's great. I think everyone wants that. But we're not really fixing the issue of scalability here. And who's to say why, if increase it to 5 megabytes, why not 10 megabytes or 20 megabytes? There's issues. There's issues with centralization in the sense of money. Let me see real quick. I added a command to Nightbot. Oh, awesome. Thank you very much. Let me actually try that out real quick. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, you guys, if you want to share the link, you can type in !BCH, and that'll give you the Pastebin link. So if you want to get an idea of what we're talking about, I see we have 3,000 here, and this is ridiculous. I don't think we've ever had a live stream like this. But I'm going to try and answer as many questions as I can. Again, general consensus for those of you who are in here, not official. But this letter we're talking about here is official. This has been out since July 30th. Pastebin. Well, not only I don't think you can modify the dates, but along with that, there is an actual Steemit article, Steemit being on the blockchain and everything, where there's a legitimate article that came out 3 months ago, the exact same text. And it's just coming out. Really, it's supposedly some people said it's been around for a while, but yeah, I mean, this is just ridiculous. So again, I want to get a discussion going. Let me see here if I can get some comments. Frank made a good point. Bitcoin is a global faith of uncensored store of value. Who cares about fees? That's the thing I'm curious about, guys. We really have to ask ourselves, there's such a debate about scalability. Why are we so set on scalability? It seems like Bitcoin doesn't seem to want to be something that's used for a means of exchange. It's more of a store of value, or that's at least what it's being used like now. All you asking me, have I bought Bitcoin Cash? No, I have not. I swear on my life today, I haven't made any transactions today. I haven't changed anything. I have no position in Bitcoin Cash right now. And I'm just very concerned more about this. I mean, if this does come into fruition. Crap, sorry, my bad. BTC, BTC. And I think we need to consider if this is, it's still going exponential. The buy side's not stopping, which is the weirdest thing. I mean, you do see serious volume coming in. All right, if it seems like y'all aren't able to get the Pastebin link, I'm gonna, actually, hey, Aegis, could we put it in the description? Is there any way we could do that? Okay, cool. We're gonna put the link in the description, guys, if you want to go read through it. Yeah, but anyways, I mean, this is, yeah, we'll go ahead and put in the before to double there. Yeah, well, basically what the whole objective would be, guys, it would be a massive money grab. And this is what you have when you have an issue of centralization, much like in the real world where you have, the central powers of money very centralized. What their objective would be is that they have Bitcoin Cash, which sold off, and they bought it very cheap, large chunks. And then they start pumping in institutional money, keeping it up. Value goes up. Bitcoin Cash appears like it's having the cashioning. And then you have a sell-off in Bitcoin where supposedly they're either selling their Bitcoin, they've been selling it in chunks, or they've been shorting. So, you benefit from the downside, benefit from the upside on Bitcoin Cash. Looks like Nightbot came through and posted a link. That's good. Okay. Okay. Awesome. I understand your concerns. Darren, I understand your concerns about Bitcoin and the anxiety it must be causing all of you. Just send them over to me and I'll carry the burden. If I could drop to 5K, drop it to 5K, but it might only last 15 minutes. Yeah, I want to reaffirm to everybody as well for the donations and stuff that are coming through. I apologize. I'm not going to be talking about them right now. We're going to do them at the end of the live stream, but I will answer every donation question before we end the stream tonight. But I mean, this is just, it's too much to ignore right now, guys. We got to talk about this. I mean, if we go here to the 5-minute, this is just ridiculously exponential for Bitcoin Cash. And now here's the thing, everyone. I'm not advising you to take either position either. I wouldn't say, oh, we gotta buy Bitcoin Cash. No, I'm not advising you all to do anything. This is why I'm telling you all not to FOMO or FUD. I'm asking you all to look at this in a very fundamental sense and ask, like, is this, at the end of the day, the miners can do whatever they want. They can manipulate markets, of course. They own a huge chunk of not only the creation power of Bitcoin, but also at the end of the day, they own a lot of Bitcoin. I mean, they're the source of where it comes from. So you have massive mining pools that, in this case, could be a serious threat to the stability of cryptocurrency. And we might have to ask, is proof of work a sustainable system long term? Again, sorry, I'm trying to get here in the chat. $1,754 is the price to pass Ethereum. Let's actually see with how much it's been upticking if it has passed Ethereum. We are literally $2.3 billion in valuation away. And in this case, $100, $130 away from passing Ethereum in valuation. That's either massive manipulation on a grand scale, or it is the cashioning. And I highly doubt that we are going through the cashioning. The community does not move this quick. Centralized units that are, changing, the miner, aka the miners, they would be doing something like this. It would not be, the cashioning would not be happening this quick. I don't care how much FOMO you have in the books. It's not happening like that. Yeah, people keep on mentioning the South Korean exchanges. I mean, that's what's going on right now. It is almost $2.3 billion in volume by now in the past 24 hours. It's not something you can just sit there and ignore. 14,000 unconfirmed transactions. All right. Let's see here. People are asking me my plans. I'll be honest, I haven't really formulated much plans in regards to trading. I'm not too, I'll be honest, guys. I hope this proves to you all something. I don't care too much about, like, how can I stay ahead of the market, 24/7. I understand that with the channel, I want to relay information like this as soon as possible, so long as I have enough, need to believe that this is something to talk about. I know there's a lot of fake stuff that comes out in the crypto markets, but to be honest, this has been around since July 30th. And all of the facts, no matter if that's fake or not, are speaking for themselves through price action. I mean, everything's really pretty much from what it states in there has come into fruition. You have the cancellation of the fork. You have, the flattening in price action for Bitcoin Cash. People, hopefully, I'm assuming they acquired it earlier on. And then you see the price action moving up like this. I mean, to see this in a period of less than 3 days, the kind of volume, I mean, this is just Bitfinex. Keep in mind, 230,000 Bitcoin Cash being traded. That's just a part of it. You look at South Korean exchanges, I got to see the volume, and the candles would just be ridiculous. This is just, it's literally day after day nonstop. Barely any kind of correction. It's weird. More than anything, I'm just sitting here just like, I don't get how this could be working. So Lisa asked, define cashioning. Cashioning is the term used. It's kind of like how people use the flippening with Ethereum. It was the idea that Bitcoin Cash will be worth more than a Bitcoin. I don't personally, again, I don't see it happening, and I didn't see it happening before. But if you have the manipulation of the entire mining pools coming together to do it, they could have a serious effect at causing that. But I mean, I'm just looking at this hourly, folks. It's genuinely, I think it's more than anything, I'm not worried about my portfolio. I haven't actually checked it in the past few hours, but I am concerned about one thing. I'm concerned about the longevity of cryptocurrencies, or at least Bitcoin more specifically, because if things like this can happen, if it is so centralized now where there's this kind of mass manipulation, that genuinely concerns me. To see a forked currency like this, literally a few days ago was less than 8 million Satoshis, now sitting at 3 times that. More than 3 times that. I don't know. All right, let's see here. The Imaginary Globe said, hey, Nick, this looks like the bankers are starting a war and fighting back against Bitcoin. I definitely think there's some institutional help that's coming in to buy Bitcoin Cash and cause this cashioning. And keep in mind, guys, at the end of the day, Bitcoin Cash is more centralized than anything. Got to keep that in mind. Nicholas, what happens to the alts if Bitcoin Cash takes over? Stop ignoring. Edwin, I'm not ignoring your comment or anything. I didn't see your comment. There's more than 3,000 people in here. But to answer your question, because I bet there's a lot of other people who are concerned about alts, I think it wouldn't cause much instability in alt. It's going to cause downside in Bitcoin. You think about that. If you're in an altcoin, your Bitcoin comparative is going, if Bitcoin's going down, you really have 2 factors here. You have Bitcoin Cash going up and Bitcoin going down. If Bitcoin's going down, then your altcoins are going to do well. And they would seem like great hedges right now against, at least in my opinion, against something like Bitcoin right now. But again, you've got to do your own research. Not recommending anyone do anything. But got by mistake 26 Bitcoin Cash with a wrong click instead of 5.5 Bitcoin. Oh, so it'd be nice if you accidentally got Bitcoin Cash. Let's see. Backdoor manipulation of the markets by the banks and start a war with banks. Coins created for the global population equals large circulation supply. Yeah, I got to say that's one thing you're not dealing. That's the one thing again with the scalability argument, guys. You're dealing with a cryptocurrency that has a $21 million supply. Or sorry, not $21 million, 21 million supply, rather than something that's mass scaled. It's much more like a commodity. You want to stake it. But yeah, I mean, anyways, Yeah, that's the one thing, Ryan. If this is really manipulation of the market, I'm less eager to. I know most people would be less eager to engage in crypto if some large players can do this kind of stuff. I mean, again, guys, I've never seen this kind of price action before on Bitcoin Cash. What is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin has it's still hanging in there. It's not doing too much right now. Well, let's drop a little bit, but actually, no, that's a decent amount. Never mind. Sorry, my chat's in the way. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I come back later and it's already up another 500,000 Satoshis. You don't find this in common markets, folks. This is messed up. Another 30 bucks up. I don't really know much of what to make of it. All right, let me pull up, sorry, my restream. Window went down. Okay, let's see this. What did Andreas just say about it? Let me actually check. Actually, I guess we'll do. Oops, I missed the end. Andreas Antonopoulos. Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash will coexist and serve different use cases, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's not a zero-sum game. Work on building your project, not on destroying the other. That's an interesting idea. So you could have Bitcoin Cash operate as more of a currency, and Bitcoin being the store of value. The issue I have with that, as much as I think that's good, is at the end of the day, if that's the case, if they coexist, and you have Bitcoin Cash operating as cash, and you have Bitcoin operating as a store of investment, you kind of printed money out of thin air. Let's think about that for a second. You're creating a whole nother store of value out as a spendable currency. I don't know if I could. I like Andreas's take on that. They could coexist, but I don't know. I guess, yeah, you'd have a leaving of value out of Bitcoin towards more of a currency style of Bitcoin Cash, if that's the case. I guess I could kind of see that, yeah. Let's see here. Randy says, can't be a store of value if it has no value. Must be used as a currency as well. That's a good point, Randy. Wheels, thank you very much. I'm glad to cover it. So again, I want to, for those of you who are in here, remember you can type an exclamation point BCH for the Pastebin article we've been talking about. You can read through the problem which we're discussing. But I mean, this is just ridiculous. I have no way of explaining why this is happening outside. I'm a miner and Bitmain are now only selling mining units S9s, and BCC trying to force Bitcoin miners. Just, oh my gosh, really? So Daniel Mofat said, I'm a miner and Bitmain are now only selling mining units, S9s, and Bitcoin Cash, trying to force Bitcoin miners to switch to Bitcoin Cash in order to expand their mining operations. Man, this is interesting. The crazy thing is this is going up quite a bunch over the past few hours, and we're not seeing a respective drop in Bitcoin, which is interesting. So maybe Andreas was kind of right on that. We might have a sense of coexisting between the two. Let's see here. Midsummer says, when difficulty goes up, the small mining pools won't be able to do crap against the big boys anyway. Big block, small block won't matter. We care about faster transactions, less fees. Go Bitcoin Cash. Okay. I think that's, I mean, at the end of the day, it does benefit us in the short term with lower transaction fees. I can agree with that, but we'll have to consider. Apparently, they're only making miners for this batch of mining. Aegis, do you want to actually get him here on the Discord to talk about it? Yeah, you want to? Can he bring it? Can he be in the room and people hear him, or they won't hear him because he's in Discord probably, right? We could get Google Hangout. Okay. Yeah, we might have to get some people in here talking about it. Yeah, it's confirmed on the website supposedly that on Bitmain, only a Bitcoin Cash payments method, Bitcoin Cash payment method is accepted in this batch. And if we remember correctly in the document, I think they said Bitmain. Where was that? Let's do Control F here. Bitmain. Yep, right there. Paid off by Bitmain, etc. Will go along with the new Bitcoin Cash narrative, and we'll push for Bitcoin Cash to be called Bitcoin on all their platforms, leaving only Coinbase, etc., which will then be the odd ones out. I mean, it just reads like almost like a textbook. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'll go through it one more time because we're gonna eventually have to leave a little bit off this topic as much as it is the trending one right now, because I know there's some other. Oh, we could have Einstein on. Yeah, we'll get him on. We'll talk to him in just a sec. So basically, what happened here? Long story short, there's a conspiracy. Keep in mind, a conspiracy, not official. You know, there's no official public record that they've been colluding together. However, this document that we're taking a look at here is a pastebin document that was published back on the 30th from an anonymous source at the 30th of July. It has not been manipulated in any sense, nor has the Steeman article. That there's been a Steeman article with the exact same text that's been out since July 30th. And the whole premise of it was that the SegWit 2x fork was never intended to go through. They canceled it on purpose, and they had that plan for quite some time. And what it was going to be was an eventual vision that, oh, the Bitcoin Cash, which has the 8 megabyte increase on the block size, would be the actual forked currency that everyone would switch over to, and you'd have the cash in it. And they said that basically you would have the massive miners who have been staking not staking it, but holding onto their Bitcoin for quite some time. We're going to start either placing short orders or start selling it ever since the end of July towards like early August. And what they were going to do is buy Bitcoin Cash in a dip and then put the buying pressures in here on. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's still going up. It's about to pass Ethereum. That's ridiculous. The amount of volume on Bitcoin Cash is almost 6.7 billion. Let's see here real quick. Bitcoin Gold is up 170% as well. BTG, BTC. Can I get that on here? I can. Unbelievable. Let's check what Bitcoin's doing. All right. So, someone said, Nick, we need answers. I can't give you all too many. I don't have much out of what I've been sharing with you all. What Goes up. Yeah, I tell you, you know, a lot of people don't FOMO into Bitcoin Cash, folks. I really wouldn't recommend doing that. I'd just say watch and see what happens. Kind of ride the wave here. And if Bitcoin Cash does become, I mean, this is just nuts. We can go to the 1 minute, and this has a full blown, like, it looks like almost a daily chart at this point. Yeah, you guys are seeing volatility trade on this. Can't recommend y'all to do anything one way or the other, but just be careful here, okay? And don't think irrationally. Again, I want to read through Andreas and see what people are saying on that, because it's good to have someone like him coming in. That's the one thing right here, Whale Panda, a very good point. It's not taking the Bitcoin brand and coming in to replace Bitcoin. Why do you need a forked currency that serves, you know, as another version of Bitcoin as a currency? You could create another cryptocurrency that does that and gains its adoption fairly. Bitcoin is going to be Bitcoin at the end of the day. It has to be something. And I think the community needs to come to you know, some kind of agreement on that and stop forcing out so many forks like this. And this is what's prone to happen sometimes. If you have two versions of Bitcoin, you confuse people. You can play markets if you own the majority of it. And the same as you can, I guess, if you own the mass majority of Bitcoin. But this isn't, yeah, that is not what I want to see, unless really the community as a consensus wants Bitcoin Cash. I know through polls, through the vast majority of the community, most people don't want Bitcoin Cash. Just saying it. I'm just, at the end of the day, we can go to my Twitter here. I'll go here and find my Twitter real quick. I think this is it right here. I did a poll earlier today. Let's take a good look here. We'll go ahead and just, I mean, I wish we could get the results here. I'm not signed into an account. Oh, really? Is it not going to let me see the results? That sucks. Okay, well, if you go and check the results of that poll and see what people generally voted on, was not Bitcoin Cash. It was highly Bitcoin. It was around at 80 to 85% on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Cash being as like the real Bitcoin. You want to? Sorry, what'd you say? Okay. It's no big deal. Yeah, I can pull it up on my phone real quick. I'll bring up the. Thank you. Oh, thank you all for going on Twitter. I appreciate it. Let me see real quick. I'll pull up the results real quick so I can read it on the live stream. Yeah, 84% Bitcoin, 16% Bitcoin Cash. Really? So on a community consensus, I mean, that shows you that there's manipulation going on here to a degree, and that this is overextended. But I'm assured that it will keep on running for quite some time, or another maybe few minutes to few hours. But you know, money will function as money, but eventually what comes up must come down if it's not fundamentally worth these levels. 3K predicted by YouTuber Dope Forever. Could reach it. I don't know. I'm wondering if if this moves past 3 million or 30 million satoshis, if it'll pass Ethereum. If it does, that's ridiculous. If it does. Thorth said CIA all over this one. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I can't get to everyone's. I'm trying to bounce between covering the price action and answering as much as I can. On Bittrex, I got word from Jopi said it's already past 30 million satoshis. That's ridiculous. It's about to pass Ethereum. Dang, you're right. It's only less than $200 million away. I can't believe the day has come where we might potentially see a cryptocurrency pass Ethereum in market cap like this. After all this time where it's been placed second. Let's see what's a few other players. Let's see what Charlie's saying on this. No, we haven't gotten any serious comments on this. Be interesting to see. I mean, it was nice seeing Andrea's comment on it, but again, I think anyone's kind of baffled, guys. There's not going to be any person who can really give you a perfect recommendation on how to interpret this. It's just kind of doing what it is right now, and there's massive volume in Korean markets right now that's pushing this up. All right, I'll give it one last time. So again, explaining what's happening. If you want to get the article we're referring to with the Bitcoin Cash conspiracy at the title, type in !BCH, and that will bring you, all lowercase, exclamation point, lowercase BCH, and that will help you get the article we're referring to. Yep, it's in the description as well if you'd like to just access it there. But basically, this was an article that's been published a while back in regards to Bitcoin Cash. It's basically how SegWit2x was permanently, from the start, meant to fail and never become a reality by the developers themselves. And it's a conspiracy tied to the New York Agreement that basically says that they intended to not have it happen so they can make Bitcoin Cash the new alternative where SegWit is not activated. And you have really, this is the alternative coin. So it's an interesting concept, but basically they supposedly, I mean, you can see a lot of the signs match with what's going on in the document. Now, keep in mind, there's this was published on July 30th, and you can find it on Steam as well. The hash rates, yes, we actually, I do have that here. The hash rates as well. One thing I don't know if I think I had mentioned it earlier on the stream. You see the hash rates absolutely coming to a collision here. Now, we've seen that in the past, as we all know, that can happen sometimes. As we can see here, for example, the hash rate, miners will go after what's most profitable. But it's weird how all the stars are aligning with what this document states. Just keep that in mind. Again, I wouldn't say, at the end of the day, guys, remember, don't think irrationally. Let's see here. We just want to definitely get a discussion going on this. Bitcoin dominance under 50%. Yeah, Resley, I did see John McAfee was back in Bitcoin Cash, or at least he was saying, I think he was thinking mostly in his miner mindset where it's like you mine what's most profitable. But let's see here. Yeah, we're almost at 30 million Satoshis. If we get over 30 million Satoshis, that is going to, I'm honestly speechless if this happens. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Take a picture of it. It's over 3. No way. On Bittrex, let me check real quick. All right, let's see here. 1,000 Bitcoin order for Bitcoin Cash. This is hilarious. Jesus. Where are we seeing those kind of buy orders? Is it on US or Korean exchanges? Let's see the kind of volume we're getting here. Actually, I want to look at the order book here. That's just ridiculous. I have no way of interpreting this. I mean, the buy wall's ridiculous. It's crazy. Has it surpassed Ethereum? Oh my God. I am genuinely speechless. So now you have to ask yourself a fundamental question here. If it's past Ethereum, is Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, literally the source code of Bitcoin, plus generally all the modifications to change the block size to 8 megabytes, is that worth more than Ethereum? The risk that could be the next Bitcoin? Well, that's kind of what I've been generally saying from, I think, one of my earlier videos today. But never would have thought I'd be speaking here today with you all saying Bitcoin Cash is almost a $30 billion currency. It's unbelievable. I mean, we have on Bittrex, this is trading at 35 million Satoshis. This is absolute madness. I've never seen anything like it. Okay. We got supposedly Daniel Jung said real article. The flippening. I'm going to have to read through this later on tonight. Let's see real quick, guys. It is. No, I mean, Midsummer said this is a remarkable moment. I don't really, care what's happening or what the motives are. I mean, we're here experiencing it. Well, it looks like on Bitfinex, at least, it's pulling back. Definitely needed. Oh, yeah. No, it's moving pretty heavy. But literally just made up for like the past 7 minutes of price action. Oh, what to do? I just again, folks, I don't see this fundamentally being worth this. What if I can get, this isn't the 1 minute chart, is it really? No way. Oh my God. I can't believe it. It's ridiculous. Okay, well, let's go ahead here to CoinMarketCap and see what's happening here. Still maintaining well above Ethereum. Oh my gosh, now it's Bitfinex, it's correcting. That's a sell-off right there. I don't know why. I guess I had been away for 3 minutes, but yep. There's the sell side action. Don't blink. We're running this through another individual the stream. Oh my God. These are fast markets, people. This is ridiculous. I to see something just drop almost 2.2,300,000 Satoshis in a matter of 3 minutes. It's so weird. I'm speechless as to what could be causing this outside of the mining pools, instantly manipulating it. Data Junk, no problem. Yeah, I'm going to try to read through that. Actually, I'm going to keep that up as the window here. Oh, no, I don't want to. Where's the? I can't write. I'll definitely if you could DM that to me on Twitter, Daniel, I'd appreciate that. I'll check that out later. David says manipulation. All I want, 42 million club. Let's see. Trying to find. Yeah, you know, that's someone. I wish that the chat wouldn't be going up so fast. Someone said, CME, bro, we need a solid 50% retracement for big money to step in. Yeah, I agree. I think the big money wouldn't have gotten in at Bitcoin highs. That's one thing you have to consider. They're institutional investors. They don't buy at highs, they buy at lows. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out a little bit. There's a lot of other resources we'll have to take into account, guys, as this develops. But Chad said Data Dash T-shirts. We will have merchandise soon. I know I've been pushing that. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous, guys, for having this move up so much. Young Matt, I love you, Nika. Thank you. Again, keep in mind, everyone, what we're talking about here today, nothing more than a conspiracy. We're all asking the same questions here, but there is a lot of odd correlations. So this is volatility for this is ridiculous. Khabib just said the internet just went down. Bittrex is crashing, supposedly. That's ridiculous. There's that much trading volume coming in right now. I can't. Truly historic moment, guys. This is ridiculous. Whatever way this turns out, interesting moment. That's ridiculous. Did Bittrex really crash? Oh no, I've got to try that. Bittrex.com. Let's go to the market side. Oh no, it's loading right now. Maybe on the if I type in Bitcoin Cash, I gotta go to actually or no, sorry, it's BCC. That's what it is. BCC right here actually. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this on Bittrex. This is absolute price manipulation right here. Absolutely. If you were to base it off that valuation, you're already up 10 million more Satoshis on US exchange, well, in Bittrex comparative to Bitfinex. I have no way of explaining why this is happening. We've got to come to the assumption that there's obviously price manipulation coming on. The question is here, who's doing it? And no one else has the amount of trade volume outside of the miners. Let's check what Bitcoin's doing, because Bitcoin will also send signals as well. It's interesting. You're not seeing, yeah, you're seeing some jumps in the price action. I guess for Bitcoin, what's gained to Bitcoin Cash is much smaller in losses for Bitcoin, but it's interesting. Not too much price action, which makes me come to believe that this is more of price manipulation on Bitcoin Cash, to be fair. I think you know what we're going to do tonight, guys. I know it might be a little bit of a cluster, but we will definitely be discussing about this in the Discord tonight and trying to share any resources we have with this. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, more than anything, this is a very good thing I didn't even mention yet. Hey, Andrew Sky said, this is why we need ASIC resistant coins on top. Folks, you're not going to get this with decentralized mining. Again, That's a very good point right there. If you believe in proof of work and you believe in a mining behind the cryptocurrency, this is only happening because you have centralized miners. You didn't only have the New York Agreement because you had centralized miners meeting there and coming together and thinking, well, we own the hash rate, so let's go ahead and determine where Bitcoin's going for the future. That's a very good point there. I didn't think about that, Andrew. Very good point. It is hard to keep ASIC resistant because you have to continuously, there is ways, checks and balances that you have to continue to maintain to make it ASIC resistant. But I mean, it's Colin, Nick has lost his cool. Nick's going rogue, everyone. No, but yeah, I just, man, this is just ridiculous. JB Davis says, massive price manipulation by the miners. Scary to see such a large amount of power in the hands of a few. That's one thing I'm very concerned about, folks, is the day that Bitcoin steps into the hands of a very centralized few. And this is why, I more than anything, I'm not excited about, for example, I know a lot of people are like, oh boy, CME Group is trading futures for Bitcoin. And yes, that's not direct ownership of Bitcoin, but the fact that we're getting more comfortable with institutional money just easily stepping into Bitcoin, and not to mention that position not having a stake in it, it worries me. Actually, no, I guess that wouldn't be that bad if it was just futures. But if we start getting serious institutional money in Bitcoin, it's just a serious issue. Just my opinion, of course, but we do have to have these kind of discussions. Reed says, hey, do I hear waves in the background? No, it's my PC. It's purring. Why is all alts crashing? Are alts really crashing? BTC. Alts aren't crashing. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's think another one. Let me say go BTC. Alts aren't crashing or anything. Alts are holding up pretty well. And it doesn't surprise me because alts are, if anything, they would seem like the logical thing if you want to just stay out of this mess. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's not even moving much. It's just Bitcoin Cash that's getting bought up like crazy. And now it's back up to where it was on Bitfinex. I wonder if we can get Korean, I bet it probably wouldn't even load for us, but if we were to get Korean charts and stuff and exchanges and see how much volume's really coming into this on like real time rather than just looking at the numbers here. Yeah, I also went down a teeny bit, I guess. I wonder what exchange they're using as the measurement here for the valuation. But this is definitely one of the most, guys, I gotta say, we have 4,500 of you in here. Let's just all take a seat back and realize that whatever happens here was a pretty crazy experience. I'm just as speechless as many of you are. This looks like pure market manipulation, in my opinion. Let me say that word, manipulation. There's no market that would move like this. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the messages here. Yeah, Jopi says there's no market that would move like this without manipulation. Seriously, man. I mean, that's what it feels like. Let's see real quick here. Oh, well, that's true. Year million. I don't know if I can use Coinigy. Can I use the charting application? That's one thing I'm actually curious about. I don't know if I can use Coinigy without paying for it. If that is the case, I will definitely try it out. 1111 was an inside joke. Yeah, Ivan, seriously, I mean, it is like, it's crazy to think that this just passed Ethereum. I mean, that's massive amounts of volume. Joe, you're asking about Substratum. I like Substratum long term. I'm not looking for it to just run up, but yeah, this would probably be a good time, guys. I do want to continue talking about this as much as the next guy, but We do have 4 donations that I want to answer to real quick, and we'll get back on the topic. So you want to go ahead and read through them, Aegis?
Yeah, I'll read it. So we have a donation from Raphael for $2. He says,
You there, Aegis?
here... Hello?
AI is in control.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, again, Ankit brought up a good point, guys. I wouldn't FOMO into Bitcoin Cash. I mean, I'm not going to advise you to take one way or the other, but you got to be careful at these levels. This is more than 3 times what it was, I think, 2 or 3 days ago. Let me see something real quick. Wait, who just moved me down to this channel? What? No. Hey, yeah, I got moved down to the other channel in Discord.
All right, sorry. So we have a donation from Raphael for $2. He says, "Who is here making a metric ton load of margin trading? I am."
We got one from Raphael. That's funny. Margin trading. Were you? I'm assuming you're margin trading Bitcoin Cash now, but that's, man, wow, that'd be ridiculous. But anyways, next one.
We have another donation from Neblio who donates $5, saying, "How do we as general users do something about this? Bitcoin Cash is moving crypto into a direction of centralization. The scary thing is people don't realize this. The massive volumes we're seeing being poured into Bitcoin Cash and out of Bitcoin are too alarming."
At the end of the day, that's a very good question. And it always comes back down to what I've heard from all of the people that I either have worked with or collaborated in the past with. I think Michael has said it, Box Mining, Andreas Antonopoulos, who I highly envy and look up to. You see a general trend, the community, the leaders of the community who are very genuine people who really want to tell you the truth. They tell you at the end of the day, they can manipulate the price like this for as long as they want. What you can do best is simply, if you believe this is price manipulation, if you do not believe Bitcoin Cash is the right alternative, don't adopt it. I don't care if there's a trading benefit to it. If you really fundamentally think that Bitcoin Cash is not a proper solution, if you think it, encourages centralization, which I personally do, you increase the block size, you increase centralization of mining power, which is already, in this case, if we're seeing it being manipulated, it's already centralized enough. Like, this shows that we have two fundamental things we have to consider. One, is Bitcoin too centralized now to have things like this happen and have forks happening every few months? And second off, we have to ask ourselves, do we want to scale Bitcoin? Do we want it to be a currency? And at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I think we're going to eventually have to do some form of scaling. But if we are going to scale it, what is that solution going to be? And is it going to be something that we can have pre-set up as a community, not as a New York agreement, not as a select few, having us as a community come to a consensus generally? Mass majority of the community coming together and saying, this is the direction we want to take Bitcoin. Okay. I know it might not happen overnight. Fair point. But we need something like that is community decided. That's one of the bad things about Bitcoin is there's not much of a vote outside of the fact of adoption. If we choose to adopt it or choose not to, that's going to be the question at the end of the day. Let's see. I think we got a tweet actually from Is this a tweet from Vitalik, Aegis? On the issue? Let's see what he's saying. Congrats on this. Seriously, at Roger. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about Vitalik coming out and it's so weird to think it's worth more than Ethereum now. Oh, Brent, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate you enjoying the coverage. I've had a great time talking about this. But man, guys, and this is, yeah, so we're going to go to there's 2 more donations I didn't go through. I apologize. I was kind of going on a rant and rave there, but yeah, let's go through ahead and let's cover the next 2 donations.
All right. So Snot Sequence Pi donated $2 Canadian and said, "Check Bitcoin Gold. It's up 172% and."
Oh, we looked at that. Yeah, we taken a look. Yeah, Bitcoin Gold is up just as much percentage wise.
And then the other one is by Rock Boogers, donated €2 through Super Chat, and says, "Fifth wave target, 3K predicted by YouTuber."
Yeah, he was mentioning that. I was reading through that earlier. There's supposedly some YouTubers predicting this, that Bitcoin Cash was going to go to 3K. I mean, I think $30 billion right now at this price around 1,800 is a pretty big feat for this to go. But the fact we really have to get a little bit of reality check, folks, is the opportunity of this potentially being the next Bitcoin. Is it worth risking at these levels? It's at the comparable value of Ethereum. You know, that's what you have to think of. Awesome. Thank you very much, Aegis. I appreciate it, man. That's funny. All right, so let's go ahead here. I want to see if I can get back to answering some questions for you all. How do you think sliding down the chart will affect the Ethereum price? I don't think it has much of an effect on Ethereum's fundamentals. Not at all. Ethereum's community. Let me ask you all. This is a good question of community here. Yes, you'd have the Bitcoin, if really there is the cashing, you'd have the people who support Bitcoin going over to Bitcoin Cash. Mass majority of the Bitcoin community is not in favor of Bitcoin Cash. You don't even need my poll to tell you that. That's just the consensus right now. You have miners who are making it happen, who are moving this. Again, this is not the type of price action you expect if a community adopts something. This is massive institutional buying, and it's coming from the same South Korean exchanges. So at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is Bitcoin Cash, does it currently have the adoption, the community, the respected valuation to be at $30 billion in valuation? Ethereum has earned that relatively well. Ethereum has massive corporate enterprise adoption. You, of course, have functionality on top of Ethereum much more than Bitcoin Cash, which is just being used as a currency with the Bitcoin brand. But I see, yeah, we got 2 more donations here. Let me go ahead here. I see one in the super chat. Sakura, fun to watch. Yeah, it is interesting to watch. Nonetheless, I mean, no matter, of course, I know everyone has opinions on this, but I mean, this is crazy. But just go ahead and what was the other donation?
Matthew donated $2 Canadian to super chat. Doesn't have a message, but yes.
Oh, Matthew, thank you very much. I appreciate it. See, we got donation. Jordan, hey man, it's Fibonacci. Well done on your channel. Remember me? You did an analysis on my cash coin. I talked about an interview from 20 satoshis to $10 soon on. Okay, Jordan, I'm sorry, I don't remember that cash coin. I don't remember talking about cash coin. I don't remember cash coin in any sense. Okay, oh no, wait. No, never mind. Paul Jones says, screw Bitcoin Cash, pure manipulation by Kim Jong-un. Yeah, guys, it looks like this is probably the end right here. Yeah, that's settling in. I mean, you got a big even here. You got 30 million Satoshis. I mean, I don't care if this continues to go up or not, but this was pure manipulation, and with everything that comes up, it must come down. So long as, unless the cashing is happening, but I don't think that is. Brent Johnson, nice to have you in here, my friend. Let me see, are y'all hanging out in the Discord? Oh yeah, we got a decent amount of people hanging out in the Discord, talking about it. That's what we want, guys. We want to have community discussion on this. Steven asks, I actually saw the July 31st message floating around Slack a few days ago. Surprised everyone hasn't been seen it yet. Worried about crypto's future. Steven, yeah, I am too. It is. I mean, the odds of this being just a random correlating event would be random. Matthew from Canada says, can you specify as to why Ethereum Classic has boomed recently? I'd probably be as lost as you are, Brandon. There's too many cryptos to keep up with, and I have no idea why. But Man, yeah, no, it's moving up. That's a pretty stellar run up from its lows down there. That's over 100%. Interesting run up there. I couldn't explain to you why. I mean, again, guys, I keep on top of a lot of this stuff. I try to keep on top of every crypto I can, but there's not always an explanation to price movement. It just might be that, markets think Ethereum Classic is oversold comparative to Bitcoin. It has pulled back quite a bit since mid-July, but there's got to be some the kind of volume coming down here. This is, like I said, institutional buyers. They buy low and they sell high. So again.
So you have a donation from Mountain Tier for $3 saying, to be viable as a legitimate means of exchange, Bitcoin Cash will need to be stable. This type of drama will not build trust in the business community looking to accept it as a currency.
I agree with that. I think it's going to be for crypto as a whole. I mean, if you have this kind of, the one thing I always get from people, because I talk to a lot of people out here about getting involved in cryptocurrency, and the one thing they say is like, it'd be awesome to be part of this Bitcoin thing. They get it morally and stuff. At the end of the day, they come to this whole problem of it's like, yeah, but the price is so volatile. I just didn't know if I put my money into it and I tried trading it, how would I know tomorrow I can spend my money? I'm like, well, usually I make the argument. It's like, Bitcoin's continuously usually going up over time. And its track record's proven that, but things do come down. That's fair. We've had pullbacks of over 30 to 40%. It's more seen as an investment vehicle right now. And that's why you get taxed like it as well, by trading it. Angela said, happy holidays, Saint Data Nicholas. Angela, thank you. I'm very appreciative of that. I'm very excited to have the holidays come soon, hopefully Bitcoin will prosper into the holidays, hopefully. Your thoughts on altcoins, specifically BAT and Steam? Gundip, we can take a look real quick. I'll take a look at Steam. Michael Wrinkle said, like this channel. Thanks for live chatting a crazy PND. Can a noob foresee this with chart techniques? Michael, that's a good question. I'd say no. No one knew this was coming, except for that guy probably who wrote the article, if that's the truth. There's nothing you guys can do to know that this was going to move up like this. It's market manipulation. So that's the scary thing about it. We don't know when things like this can happen. I will say I like about Steam is that it looks like it's cupping down here, much like it did in the past, interestingly enough. So I'll definitely keep an eye on Steam. I'm not on my TradingView account right now, but I do have an eye on Steam on my thing. And then we'll take a look. What was the other one? Basic attention token, BTC. All right. Yeah, BAT had a huge sell-off. I don't get why it pulled back this much. I don't keep up with it enough though. I use the Brave browser sometimes. It's interesting. Do you have Factum in your portfolio? Any thoughts in regards to TA? Han, no, I do not. But nonetheless, I actually originally had contacted the Factum team a long time ago. I like the project. It's interesting. But let's go back here to Bitcoin Cash, see what this is up to. It seems like at least we're taking a cool down period. I have to catch my breath here. Okay, we got a donation.
NDH 1995 donated $2. Cash should have no fees. Can blockchain-based cryptocurrencies achieve this ever?
So pretty much a cryptocurrency without fees. Well, there is one that has achieved that, or at least is overall on the mass scale of adoption still haven't achieved it. You have the Tangle framework, which is separate from blockchain. It would be hard for me to explain it on the video. I can't visually. I'd have to visually show it to you. If you watch my video on IOTA, answer your question on that. They have a system that's pretty much set to have 0 fees. So interesting project. Ethereum's back to number 2. No way. Are we serious? There we go. This might be the wall right here, folks. Can it tumble with Ethereum? I feel like I almost want to make a little illustration in Photoshop of Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash tussling it out. Or maybe we'll get a video editing online. Could someone make a video meme of getting a Rocky movie or something with Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash or something? That'd be funny. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Trolling for fun. Converted $300 worth of Bitcoin to cash. What should I do? I have no idea what you should do. You mean Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash or to cash? Let's see here. Let's go to 1 minute. Yeah, it keeps on bouncing here. You've got, oddly enough, between big even numbers. Let me move this to the side here a little bit. So we've got it between 27 million Satoshis and 29,500,000 Satoshis. A little bit generally under 30 million. That's ridiculous. Unbelievable. Yeah, I agree with Quanman here. Again, my opinion is this. It's not, again, not advice. I'm not FOMOing into this, guys. If you all are curious, one thing too, I know there's some new people in here. We're still growing. If you're curious about what all this is about, again, type in, either go to the description. There's a link there. It's a pastebin document, as we can see here on the screen. Or you can type in !BCH, and Nightbot will give you a link. Basically speaking, there is a conspiracy right now that Bitcoin Cash is being manipulated by institutional individuals, miners, exchanges, etc. And basically, it all correlates back to the New York Agreement and the cancellation of SegWit2x. Supposedly, in this paper, if you read through it, through the very few times that there is some kind of, there's some poor English or mistakes. Basically speaking, it reads that in the New York Agreement, the side that was calling for the block size increase, they knew well ahead of time that SegWit2x, they were not going to push it. And because of that, they're going to make Bitcoin Cash the forked currency to focus on. And keep in mind, it doesn't have SegWit, which they didn't want, and it has an 8 megabyte block size increase, so even larger than 2 megabytes. So even more centralization for miners. What is a way to securely get Bitcoin Cash? I only have a Coinbase account. Sorry for the dumb question, kind of afraid to switch it up a little. Disturb project, you'd have to get it on an exchange that has it. You can trade it on Bittrex, but keep in mind it's trading at a ridiculous multiple. Let me see real quick. Yep, yeah, we did. Yeah, so let's see here. Yeah, Deponerum said SegWit2x never had replay protection conspiracy planned. Jack Kelly, I apologize it took me that long. I talked about it a few times. I've been doing it for like, I'm kind of wiped. There's a lot of questions going through. It's a big topic. A lot of people are confused. I would have answered it earlier again. I went through it like 3 or 4 times before, but I know some of you were just coming in. So I do apologize for taking that while to re-mention the story. I'm gonna be like a robot, like every 5 minutes I'll be like, oh, replay story, like you're gonna talk about it, what's happening. A tatty conspiracy. Yeah, Undead Fred, that's the thing you gotta keep in mind. If this is market manipulation, guys, this is the reason why you don't want to just be like, well, I don't care if the market's being manipulated, I gotta get in Bitcoin Cash. No. Wouldn't race it like that. We're starting to make lower highs here on the 1 minute. It's funny, I'm looking at the 1 minute. Not to mention market manipulation. Just like how exuberance can make up all the difference in a few days, the people who bought in can easily sell. So keep in mind. I don't know if they're really trying to make this the new Bitcoin. I don't think they would, but it doesn't mean that other people won't sell. All right, let's see. I'm actually curious how low is Bitcoin's? Yeah, Bitcoin's not selling, guys. That's what makes me think this is market manipulation at its finest, really. It's still holding relatively well. It's down, of course, a little bit over the past few hours. I mean, no doubt, but not enough for me to feel like this is like. I mean, this could just be standard reaction how fast Bitcoin Cash is moving up. No, they're funny. I love reading all the comments. We got a donation from one of our Aussie friends. Chris, hey Nick, shout out from Australia. Do you think Vertcoin is a buy now? Do you think all this money going into Bitcoin Cash will flow back into altcoins or Bitcoin assuming a major correction? Thanks for the good work. Chris, it depends if the cashing happens. I don't think it will, because this is looking like grade A class or grade A manipulation for Bitcoin Cash. I don't believe this is fundamental. I haven't seen anywhere that the community has grown from. You almost can look at it in a percentage form of community adoption. You think about it. If you equal Bitcoin, the community has recognized Bitcoin Cash is most likely new Bitcoin, or is a competitor with Bitcoin equally. I have not seen a reason to believe that Bitcoin Cash can reach these kind of levels in a community adoption sense. I think that if altcoins are taking any hits right now, which they really aren't, if I go back and look, maybe I might be speaking too soon, but I remember checking that they were, Neo's holding fine, XMR, BTC. I think actually XMR is going up today, actually, yeah. Ethereum, BTC, yeah, everything's holding pretty well right now. I don't think that you'd see most of the money come back into Bitcoin if this whole thing doesn't actually take off and the cashing doesn't happen. But we'll have to see. But anyways, guys, I do want to say, let's see what time it is. Date 17. I'll do the stream till 8:30, but I will definitely. I'm going to be hopping onto the Discord later, where we can all talk about this some more and we can share some resources. But if you're curious about the Discord, you can type in ! Discord. Talk with some people. Again, I'm not your number one resource for everything, guys. We got to talk as a community. But I hope I've helped explain it a little bit better. Again, if you guys want to know what we're talking about, it'll explain it all if you just simply go to the Pastebin link in the description or type it in the chat. So let's see here. Awesome. See, we got some people going to the Discord. This is awesome. Okay. Brent, does Nick accept Bitcoin Cash donations? I do not have a Bitcoin Cash address. I bet I wouldn't get any donations because I've been talking quite negatively about it anyways. Let's see I wonder if Bitcoin Cash has come back up to toss something. It's tossing with Ethereum right now. It's round one, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin Cash in the left-hand side of the arena, taking the #2 spot in cryptocurrencies against the legacy, the legend, Ethereum. It's like a huge, that'd be such a great meme if someone could put that together. Just have like the two fighting each other. Oh my gosh. The end result would have to be whoever wins. Bitcoin Cash might have to be Rocky if he comes out of the shadows. Bitcoin Cash, BTC. And so, no, I meant by a Bitcoin address and stuff. I didn't have one in my description. I could technically do that, I guess. Any kind of exchange. I mean, if you have an exchange account, you could do that. But oh, okay. Oh, so so you need me to make sure I'm back in this room. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, yeah, movie day. Okay. Hey, Austin. Austin's on here. How you doing, Austin Angler? Nice to have you in here, man. That was a name I noticed like right away. Oh, we got a donation. Okay, who's it from?
So we have a donation from that is donated 420. How does increasing the block size benefit the miners / increased centralization?
Okay. I don't have the time to completely break down the whole miner centralization aspect. I have talked about it in my SegWit 2x video explaining the fork. But again, at the end of the day, it does eventually have an effect that leads towards more centralization. So, I mean, again, at the end of the day, guys, there's a lot to talk about in regards to this. And just because we're taking the short-term approach, people will argue a lot. They'll say, oh, but the transaction fees, that'll benefit. Again, you have to consider the long-term ramifications. let's see here. Both sides feel risky. Stay out of this mess and move to Ether. Okay, EK. This is the last time I'll be able to do it, guys, because I know we're gonna have to get off the stream here in just a minute. So, last time I can repeat the story. If you all want the link to what I'm referring to, Pastebin, okay? The Pastebin link in the description, as well as in the Discord as well. So, basically with the story for SegWit 2x, you have a case scenario where there's a supposed conspiracy right now that with the SegWit 2x team on the side of the increase in the block size, they wanted from the get-go for Bitcoin Cash, or sorry, not Bitcoin Cash, SegWit 2x to never become a reality. And it was planned supposedly all along from the New York agreement that they were going to actually use Bitcoin Cash as the fourth currency. So, okay, I'm still getting the things popping up. Long story short, if you read through the paper here, the link, it will explain what's going on and how that could correlate with what we're seeing now in Bitcoin Cash. Nacho Man said, thank you for being with us. Was watching the order book on Bittrex. Clear manipulation with massive buy walls not getting filled. Boycott Bitcoin Cash. Good point. Jonah says, Bitcoin was the first non-centralized currency, and after that came Bitcoin Cash. You do the math. Oh my gosh. Some people are having problems getting into the Discord. If you're having an issue getting into the Discord, we can get a new link copied over for sharing. Would you be able to get that, Aegis? Getting into the Discord, can we get a new generated link? I appreciate it. Thank you. Is the Discord working for everyone? Getting into the Discord, I can see we've got lots of people in the Discord, so I'm feeling it's working fine. Might be in it. Okay. Sorry if that's not working, guys. You might All right. Well, anyways, everyone, I gotta say, I think we're gonna call it a night here. Just the last few things. If y'all want to keep up with any updates that I might post, I'll try to post some updates on Twitter as I find some more revelations. If that's a good place to keep up with. You guys can follow me at Twitter if you want, Nicholas_Merton. And along with that, you guys are welcome to subscribe to the channel if you like the quality of the content today. Again, I had a great time talking with you all about this. This is something we got to keep in mind, you know. No matter what is causing this to happen, if this volatility can be seen as normal in cryptocurrencies, to see something gain billions of dollars of valuation, we got to really talk about this. But if you guys want to talk about it more, I'll hop over to the Discord in about 10 minutes. So join the general channel, get talking with people, be respectful to one another. I can see y'all are hopping in there right now and stuff, and I'll be over there in just a few. Got to grab some food, got to get something to drink. But man, it's been a blast. Do we have a donation? Okay. Yeah, we'll stay out for just another minute, just to make sure. All right, we're good. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, it was great having you on. Thank you all so much for watching. And again, stay calm. No need to FOMO. No need to FUD. We'll get this. We'll get through it just like we have with all the crazy other events in crypto. And again, I'll try to make sense of it as soon as possible. What did he say? I did not see that one. Yeah, I'll go ahead and answer that. Okay.
Patson Niandoro donated $2 through Super Chat, asking, do you see LTC or VTC rising after the BCH crash?
Yes, possibly. I would feel that if this is price manipulation, if the article states true, think about it in a logistical sense. If they are trying to take Bitcoin down, they're not going to put that money back into Bitcoin on a logistical sense. I don't think they would, because sure, they've already made a decent amount of money. If they were going to pull out of Bitcoin Cash, wait for it to correct, and then buy it down, which I don't think they will. I think they're going to, more than anything, keep it in Bitcoin Cash and bring in new funds because they have a ton of the Bitcoin supply. I think that would happen. They just keep it in there. But if Bitcoin Cash does pull back, if they actually cash out of it, no pun intended, I would think that altcoins probably would get some of that. But again, no guarantees. We'll have to see. I think if this is really institutional manipulation, if the document reigns true that we've been talking about, I don't think they are going to sell. But I hope, I really hope this starts to make more sense later on. We'll have to look into this more. And again, all right. Oh, we're all good. Okay. Well, again, I'm going to break it down as much as I can, guys. I'll do a follow-up video talking about it. And hopefully eventually we can get back to talking about all the other things in cryptocurrency that I've been meaning to talk about. We got lots of videos coming down the pipeline soon. So stay tuned, guys. And I'll talk to you all later. Take care.